Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Washington football team just dominated the Dallas Cowboys 25-3, and they improved to 2-5 on the season. So in today's video, I will be giving you guys my game recap and my biggest takeaways of the game. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and make sure you guys check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. So this was just an amazing, all-out great game by the Washington football team. Antonio Gibson had 20 carries for 128 yards. We had 208 yards on the ground this game. An absolute great game by the run game. Antonio Gibson had his breakout game running the ball, 20 carries for 128 yards, and did have a touchdown. Terry McLaurin also had a great game, 90 yards. Our defense had 6 sacks, had a great game all around game by our defense. Landon Collins had a forced fumble, but he did leave the game, and it doesn't look good. Could be an ankle injury, could be an Achilles injury. Chase Young had a decent game, didn't get to the quarterback, but some good pressure. Cole Holcomb, what a game by Cole Holcomb. 5 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection, and he had that 1 interception. Let's go on to offense and we'll get back to defense. But like I said, this was a great all-around game. And even though it was 25-3 final score, first off, the Dustin Hopkins missed a field goal, so it really should have been 28-3. But in the second half, we were just running the ball, running the clock out. We could have easily scored a lot more, but we just wanted the game to be over with. Really good game overall. Kyle Allen, 15 for 25, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. Played pretty good. Had a couple of throws in that possession where we scored the field goal in the fourth quarter, where there were some questionable plays where, he threw the ball, and in the end zone where there was really no one there. But besides that, played a really good game. Got the open receivers. Man, Logan Thomas also had a great game. 4 catches, 60 yards, had a touchdown, and his touchdown catch was amazing. He mossed a guy, and he was also open in the end zone too, but Kyle Allen was scrambling to the left. I thought the offensive line played really, really well. There was a couple plays, obviously, where they allowed 2 sacks, but I thought Cornelius Lucas played pretty good. We'll see what the film says, but if he looked good on film, I would not be mad if you put him to start over Jerron Christian. We'll see. J.D. McKissick, 5 carries, 35 yards, pretty good, but he also had 16 yards out receiving, but a couple of those were key third down conversions. Had a great game. Cam Sims had 1 catch for 22 yards, but man, and McLaurin, that touchdown, that long 52-yard touchdown on Trayvon Diggs, that was amazing. Play. You don't want to get Terry McLaurin mad, and that's what Trayvon Diggs did, and he ended up paying the price for it. And Peyton Barber, 10 carries for 34 yards. He did have a nice run, but I don't want to see Peyton Barber get 10 carries. J.D. McKissick should be getting more carries than Peyton Barber, and I know some of those carries were at the end where they kind of wanted to, run out the clock, but I need to see, I love that Gibson got 20 carries. That's what I want to see every game. 20 carries, 15 plus carries for Gibson. Give McKissick a little bit more than 5, and Barber should be getting no carries. Let's go on to the defense. So the defense, 6 total sacks. Cole Holcomb had a sack where he blew up Ezekiel Elliott. Great play by him. Landon Collins had a sack. That was a great play by him. Not only did he get the sack, but he forced the safety. That was a great play by him. Montez Sweat had a great game again. 2 sacks, a tackle for loss, and I think he has 5 sacks for the season. That's really good, either 4 or 5. Let's see. Jonathan Allen had a tackle for loss. Ryan Kerrigan came in, had a nice sack, nice bull rush right there. He had a sack, and then Tim Settle had a sack. So we got 6 sacks. A great game overall by the whole D-line. I want to see how many rushing yards they had. They had 83 rushing yards, so that is very good to hold their rushing attack, which is pretty good. Zeke averaged 3.8 yards per carry, so absolutely phenomenal game by the interior D-line. And, Chase Young, too. Chase Young, hasn't been amazing. He's still been good in pass rushing, but he's been amazing in his run defense. And one thing, the negative. This was the only negative of the game, in my opinion. That was Jon Bostic's hit on Andy Dalton. That was just a dirty hit. And not only was it a dirty hit, but it was so unnecessary. The guy was sliding. He was going to be 3 yards short, and they were going to punt the ball away. And he ends up making a boneheaded play and knocking Andy Dalton out, but also giving them 15 yards. That's really the only big negative of the game, in my opinion. Everything else was perfect. I think Ron Rivera and Scott Turner did good. I mean, the whole coaching staff, I thought Ron Rivera had some good clock management. I mean, he should, but, Scott Turner called a really, really good game. And, I thought that play call in the beginning where Terry McLaurin almost got that touchdown, I thought that was an okay play call. Terry McLaurin just was barely short, but he almost got that. But that was, he called a good game. We got 25 points, but 22 points in the first half. And if we were playing in the second half like we were in the first, we would have been able to get more. But we were just trying to run out the clock. But now we are at 2-5, and we're half a game back of the NFC East. And you know what? We go into the bye week, and we'll see how our divisional opponents do. And even without playing, we could be first place entering week 9. But also, if we play the Giants in week 9, and that's definitely a winnable game. I feel like Kyle Allen has gotten better each start. This game was his best start because he had no turnovers and, got those 2 touchdowns. So I think he's going to continue to get a little bit better, and I think we could definitely beat the Giants, and that would put us at 3-5, and we could seriously win this division. It's not likely, but we definitely can. The Eagles are still banged up, and they did get that win, and that's why we're not first place in the division, but they have a very, very tough schedule, and there's no way at all that Cowboys win the NFC East unless something crazy happens. They looked absolutely terrible. So what a game again by us. We allowed about 200 yards, so our defense stepped up 3 points. We allowed 3 points, and those 3 points? Those 3 points came off of a 67-yard kickoff return from Tony Pollard. Again, actually not the only negative. The 2 negatives were the Jon Bostic play and Dustin Hopkins. His play this year has been terrible in my opinion. Not only did he miss a pretty easy field goal, a 44-yarder. I mean, every kicker in the NFL should make that, and he missed it by a lot. But also, that kick return was on him because he kind of had a line drive kick. He had a line drive kick right at the end zone line, and he got a 67-yard return. So Dustin Hopkins and Jon Bostic are really the only kind of negative things in today's game. Also, another quick thing, not necessarily a huge negative, but I don't want to see Chase Young in coverage. I want to see him rushing the passer. And I understand he's not terrible in coverage, but I mean, we drafted him number 2 to sack the quarterback or be good in the run game. So that's my thing. But overall, amazing game by the Washington football team. 25-3, great all-around effort by us. I mean, Kyle Allen had a solid game. He didn't have an amazing game, but 15 for 25, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did what he had to do, had a couple nice runs, and if it was a closer game, he would have been able to pass a little bit more. But after, the second half or the middle of the third quarter, Ron Rivera knew we were going to win, so we just ran out the clock. Antonio Gibson looks like a stud, 130 yards rushing, had a touchdown. Didn't get really involved in the pass game, but that is fine. And Logan Thomas and Terry McLaurin had good games. And then on the defense, Chase Young had a good game. Cole Holcomb had an amazing game. Everett had a decent game. Sweat had a great game. I mean, basically our whole defense had a good game except for Bostic and maybe a couple other players. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this win. Make sure, again, to check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. They got any jersey hoodie for the Washington football team you want, including a Sean Taylor one I have. Thanks for watching. Peace.